Welcome to the latest episode of Five on the Floor, the Five Reasons Sports Network. Thanks for joining us on your favorite podcast app on Apple Podcasts. On Android, we recommend Spotify. Also, check out the Five Reasons YouTube channel for all your South Florida sports content. Also, want to mention Prize Picks. Use the code 5. It's football season. Use the code 5. Put down your 5. Get your 50. Got a Dak Prescott half a passing yard. He's going to get to that, I would think. Half a passing yard. You can play that one as well as everything else. All the Dolphins plays are already on there. So go more or less on all these players. Flex plays, power plays, the official fantasy partner of the Five Reasons Sports Network. Legal in the state of Florida and many other states. Sean even escaped Pennsylvania, South Carolina, just so you can play. Check it out. It's prizepicks.com. Use the code FIVE. Also, check out Off the Floor. That's our Discord server, $2.99 per month. Link up with other Heat fans for the most Heat information and conversation. We've actually even got a Eurobasket channel on there now. So if you want to follow Nico Pella and Simone, they're playing over. I don't know how long Fontecchio is going to be out there, but we'll see. Anyway, check it out. It's Eurobasket, and we've got that channel on there as well. And now, thanks to our friend Mercy, the new intro.
Uh-oh. Yeah. It's Mercy. Music by Mercy again. Heat Nation, we the culture. Yo, E, I need you to call timeout. Need ready to set the floor plan. Tropical blanket, open for the shot. Yo, Greg, set the pit. Still 5 on the floor, still ride for my dog. Soon battle on the court, still survive in the war. Keep your eye on the ball, or get burned from the keep this mic off the wall without turning the cheek. From night to day, no sleepy patch or allowed to morning. The nut is sleeping us, never catch us snoring. Live from Miami, report in the heat with 5 Reasons Sports from the courts to the streets. Yeah, Wake County, Heat Nation, we say it proudly.
Welcome to Five on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Alex Toledo, Brady Hawk, and others from the Five Reasons Sports Network. Also, make sure to subscribe to Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere.
All right, welcome back to Five on the Floor. Here's today's floor plan. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me, Ethan J. Skolnick, at Five Reasons Sports. I got Coach Geo. You can follow him at Geo Valdez _ on Twitter and at Coach Geo on Instagram, where he has a much larger following than I do. Especially if you want to get healthy and fit, you should follow him and certainly not me. All right, we'll be doing the State of the Heat episodes. This is number 8, okay? I'm not going to give you all the words at this time. We almost got through August just with this. But we have other series going on. We've got the 2006 Championship Series commemorating the 20th anniversary season. Mateo Mayorga is involved in that one. And then Brady Hawk is doing his series. I think Greg's handling the next one with him on the one thing that every Heat player can improve on. We've already done Herro. I think they're doing Ware and Jovic next. But we're also taking a look at the team as a whole, the state of the Heat. We'll get to the words that 7 other members of our 5 Reasons or 5 on the Floor crew have given us. But, Gio, the floor is yours, so to speak. The state of the Miami Heat is blank.
I'd say lack of clarity.
So you need one word, though. You need one word. So it's what is that? Is that murkiness essentially? What are we looking at? Is
yeah,
murk?
I'd say it's murky, man. It's like when it's like you're spear fishing and you're like, you know, that bull shark is there and you can't really see him. You know, that's where I'm at. That's where I felt that you know, after that pressure with Pat, I really thought they were going to make some moves and at least pick a direction. I know they're kind of leaning young, right? We see that where Norm Powell's the oldest guy on the team, but it's like, are they trying to compete? Like, are they trying to like be, you know, are they satisfied being, you know, home court in the first round? Like, where's the? It's not really clear as to what the next this next iteration post Jimmy is, and that's what I feel like the state of the Heat is at the moment.
Well, I think they would certainly take if you were to say you're a home court team with the first round, I think they'd take that, right? Like I don't think nobody's projecting them to be a top 4 seed. I think there are conditions that could lead to that, the best possible case scenario, because when Alex and I were breaking down the teams in the East, and I know ESPN has the Heat 9th, but they don't have them that far out of 7th. But they're in that mix of quote unquote play-in teams, according to ESPN, along with two teams that have lost their best players to torn Achilles, Indiana
Mm-hmm.
and Boston. So you should not be behind them. And another team in Philadelphia that I guess Embiid's going to be healthy. We don't really know. And if he's not, then they look totally different. Obviously, they're coming off an awful season. And then you have teams like Detroit and Atlanta, Orlando that it seems have passed them. And then, of course, you have Cleveland and New York, which kind of by default are projected as the two top teams in these. But I think if you would say the number four, but I think when we talk about it, your word is somewhat similar to some of the words, and I don't want to get into all of them, but Sean saying purgatory, uh, Major saying mediocre, Brady saying seeking. It feels like everybody's kind of looking for a direction, but you kind of hinted at it. Like they are going young. Like I don't think there's any question. Like the average age of the rotation is 25.8. They not that Highsmith was an old guy, but him leaving clears more minutes even for Larson, for Hawkes. So and then they picked up Powell basically because he was given to them for free, which you're not going to turn that down. Do you not have confidence in their willingness to stay young or Spolstra's willingness to play young?
Uh, I mean, until these moves were made, I would say I was not confident in Spo leaning young, but it's kind of like the front office kind of forced their hand. It just seems, and obviously you know more than I do, but it just seems like there's a bit of a disconnect in the front office. This is just an assumption that I'm making. This is not a source that I'm revealing. Just because uh, I think it took so long to get to this point. I think they probably were a year, maybe too late on that, on making moves like this. Because like you mentioned, Kyle Anderson was what 31, 32. Kevin Love was 30, entering age 36 season. Jimmy obviously 35, entering 36. They let Alec Burks go. Like really, I think Rozier at 30 or 31 and Norm are the only 30-year-old players on the team.
And
So
Wiggins,
yeah.
and
Oh,
Wiggins is
Wiggins. Yeah,
just
correct.
30.
He
So
just
so
turned
if so
30.
if you look at their total rotation, it is our projection on it. They've got two guys 30 or over that would be in it, both of whom we're expecting to start. Nobody of the primary bench players in their 30s because we're not expecting Rozier to play very much.
Hmm.
He's here, and again, they're still trying to sort that out. So you're right; they kind of were forced Spo's hands. I guess the one point I always make to this on whether Spo will go young is there are a litany of guys since he took over as coach that did play a lot when they were young. I mean, Mario
Yeah.
go all the way back to 2008. Mario Chalmers started 82 games as a rookie. Hawkes was first team all rookie. Ware was second team all rookie. I know Jovic has been more of kind of a holding him back a little bit. Now we're sort of hopefully seeing the fruits of that. He didn't do too much in the game that we watched today, but he's been great in the offseason so far. Uh, he played Larson a little bit towards the end of last season. He has played young guys. I don't think they've had this many that they're counting,
Never. No.
right? No,
No.
not in the Spo era for sure. Maybe in
No. I think the
season.
closest might have been when he had Rio, Bees, and Daquan Cook. I think that might have been the
Yeah,
closest you had to that.
yeah, and that was
Yeah.
2009, 10 because he had Rio and Beasley in their second season. Daquan was a rookie in 2000. That's a blast from the past. I haven't heard
I
that one
know,
in a
right?
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Daquan.
And he was really young too, because when they brought he was like 19 or 20 when they brought him in. One of those guys that probably came out of college a little bit too soon. But
Hmm.
he has not really had this. You're right. I mean, during the Big Three era, that team was young at the top because LeBron and Bosh arrived at age 25 and 26. Dwayne was not 30 yet, but all the other guys were older. They're a bunch of guys in their 30s, Shane, Ray, etc. He's tended to lean towards those guys. Are you, if we talk about them being murky, if you believe that they were capable of getting a star to lead this thing, you wouldn't think it was murky, right? The problem is they haven't really done that since 2019.
Yeah. The problem here is like every single person that has come available, they have not been able to pull the trigger on. So I think that's the thing, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. Like that's probably the most frustrating thing about it all is that there have been guys out there that have been available and they just haven't pulled the trigger for whatever the reasons are. We can debate all day about the reasons. The point of the matter is it hasn't been done. So the question is, okay, let's say Nico pops off. Let's say Khalil Ware
Mm.
pops off and all the young guys have an amazing season. Do you think that's going to be enough? Like, do you think that the ceiling that these guys have is enough? I'm not as low as other guys are on this team. I really think that this could be like a second round exit kind of team. And if
Mm.
somebody gets hurt, which, you never wish that on anyone, but you never know. They can sneak in and have like a 2021 Atlanta Hawks season where they make it to the conference final. But I mean, do we really think they're going to beat anybody out west? And this is best case scenario. This is if you get contract year norm, Wiggins returns. Like, you need all these different
I
things.
have
Like,
PTSD on that term contract year because all we talked about last season
yeah,
was contract year Jimmy. Although I tend to believe that Norm will play,
yeah.
unlike where Jimmy was. No, and I get that. So let me ask you this because I kind of know where you stand on this one, but it's worth asking the question. Would you feel more comfortable or less comfortable about their direction? Would it be less murky or more murky for you if you knew what they were going to do with Hero? And by that I mean the
Uh,
extension, the amount, or a possible trade if you're not if you're not
yes.
inclined to do that.
I'd say yes because right there you're letting your fan base know, hey, we're gonna see where these guys can lead us. Like we feel Tyler, depending on the amount now. Like let's
Mm,
say he takes a, which I don't foresee it happening, but let's say he does a Jalen Brunson and takes a huge discount. That is signaling, hey, we're gonna make some moves, which is what New
mm,
York did. They went and they got shortly after that, or they went and got. I know they had gotten OG before. I think that's when they pulled
right.
the trigger on Bridges. So that would
Bridges and then
signal like
later Towns. Right.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would signal, hey, we're gonna do something. But if you see that it's 45 or above per year, they're basically hoping that someone asks out or they feel like they have enough. Like I've been watching Nico and I love Khalil, but dude, like to compete with OKC and the teams like of that ilk, they need more.
Well, we'll see what they do with Hero. That's going to be one of the storylines
Yeah,
here. I think my hunch is this is based on a little bit of reporting, but a lot of hunch is that the Powell and Jovic deals could get done by training camp. Don't aggregate me on that, but I think that there's more likelihood of that than the Hero deal getting done. The Hero deal to me is likely getting tabled until next year, which Tyler said he's fine with, and then they'll well, right. Well,
yeah, there's more.
exactly, it is more, but then he's betting on himself essentially, and he may be doing that a little bit with the Heat's kind of indifference to doing it right now. And he's not Jimmy. He's not going to walk out. He's not going to do any of that kind of stuff. So they feel like they've got a little bit of room to move there. But I have heard some positive signs about extending Jovic and Powell. And if you're doing that, you are committing to this group to a certain extent because you've already got Bam locked in. Wiggins can still
Yeah.
be moved, but that's kind of where you're at. All right, I want to let you get to the other words here and see who we're most similar to. And we can just take shots at people if we'd like. Before we do, though, we want to mention a great sponsor of the Five Reasons Sports Network. They sponsored the X-ray play of the day, X-ray of the play of the day segment last season. Still working with us here, and you should work with them. It's Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services. You can find them at c-armandstaffing.com. That's c-armandstaffing.com. They bring the X-ray equipment and staffing to you. Nelson, his family, his whole team, they do a great job. They're also hiring X-ray techs. So if that's a profession that you'd like to get into, it's a great profession. Make sure that you check them out. Go to the website. It's c-armandstaffing.com. That's c-armandstaffing.com. Tell them that 5 on the Floor and 5 Reasons Sports sent you. Or call Nelson directly. He picks right up. 561-891-9620. That's 561-891-9620. All right, Gio, why don't you tell people, because I know you got your own business and we're going to work with you a little bit more this year. Tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, so essentially, I've been working out in the Brickell area for the past 6+ years. Sports performance, elite level training with high level executives and professional athletes as well. I've been doing that for over 12+ years. And yeah, man, a lot of people reach out to me through social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. Ethan, at the beginning of this episode, gave me a shout out as to where you guys can find me. Also, email, and we have a website, coachgeo.training. That's usually where everybody reaches out. It's a simple website to remember, coachgeo.training. And yeah, man, we help lots of people, and we've been doing this, helped thousands of people over the past 12 years. We have a big team.
All right, so check them out, coachgeo.training. Now let's insult some people so none of them end up working with you. You ready? You're gonna give me a you're gonna give me a 1 to 10, 1 to 10, real quick, rapid fire here. 10 being the best, rating
Okay.
the words. You ready? 1 to 10. Alex, satisfactory. The state of the heat is blank, satisfactory.
5.
Okay. Brady, seeking.
Ooh, Brady's always clutch. I'll give that an 8.
Everybody, I can't. It's enough already with Brady. All right, Greg, crossroads.
Yeah, on the nail on the head. I'll give him an 8 as well.
Okay. Adele, growth.
Yeah, 8. I'm liking
Okay.
8s. I'm liking the 8s.
Sean, purgatory. Very dramatic.
That sounds like a Sean response. I'm gonna give Sean a 7.
All right. Eternal. I really think he just did this so that he could put a Kendrick title in the headline. I really think that's the only reason he does. Heart.
What was it? What was it?
The state of the heat is heart, which I guess he was saying that they're
Heart?
going to have to show more heart than they showed last year, and I kind of got him around to that. It just took me a few minutes to do it.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna give Eternal, my guy, my Memphis brother. I'm gonna give him a 6.
All right, that's fine.
I'm gonna give him a
It's
6.
the Memphis grading on a curve. Major, major. This stunned me because major is Mr. Positive. Major, mediocre.
I think I'm gonna say a 4, man. I'm higher on these guys. Like, you can't tell me Milwaukee has a better roster than Miami.
They don't, except for one guy.
Exactly.
The rest of that roster is such trash. Like, I
You
mean,
go like this. You cover your eye. Don't look at Giannis, and that's a G League team.
it is. It's awful. It is. I think that team is worse than any team LeBron was given in Cleveland.
Facts.
Any team LeBron was given in
Yes.
Cleveland. I'm talking about for the first time around. Like
Boobie
Kevin
Gibson.
Porter. Right, the Boobie Gibson
Yeah.
Varejao team. You're talking about Kevin Porter Jr., Miles Turner, who didn't rebound at all in the post. He's a good player, but he's got to be in the right
Yeah.
situation. And what? There's no Middleton anymore. There's no obviously there's no Dame. There's no
Yeah.
Drew from before him. I don't. Portis is not the same player. Kuzma's terrible. I mean, Kuzma was like one of the most net negative players in the league last year when he got to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like, he gave Rozier a run for his money. Like, it's not a good roster. That's a team. People have them in the 42 to 46 range, but if Giannis asks out, that's a 25 win team. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of where they're at.
Giannis
All right,
would have
Gio,
to be the MVP.
right.
He'd have to be the MVP.
I think he's the MVP. I think he's the MVP if they win 45 games. I really do. I think that. Well, it's gonna be Jokic. If you watch Jokic today, you're like, okay, that's it. He's gonna get the MVP back. Gio, we appreciate it. Again, find
Yes,
him
sir.
at Geo Valdez _ on Twitter and at Coach Geo on Instagram. Have a good one, everybody.